So here's a bit of background story about myself, and I'm just going to pretend that there's my best friend talking to about as if I'm talking to my best friend. I have many best friends from all walks of life, but so my backstory is that so right now my name's Sebiga, and Sebiga's not registered. It's a name that was given to me by my half sister, and her name's Gunhair. And she also changed her name, and I also changed my name 3 times already. No, twice. Yeah, because originally it was Un Gyung Nam, but my uncle said that that name was given to me by a psychic, and I think he felt that it wasn't really good energy, and so he said that Chong Ha is better for me. It will help me mature faster, and it has really good meaning. But um, funnily enough, when I sent money to my sister and my stepmom as a present, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I was um, independent and working, um, juggling work and having a steady income. I sent them a present so that fuck, it's really weird because like when you're holding the actual the iPhone camera, and because it's my iPhone's pretty damaged now, but when I couldn't get it to work because I had a virus in the iPhone, I told myself that like it only partially functions, which means that it will videotape if you take a selfie, but if I were to take a photo from the lens is broken. So anyway, I tend to digress a lot because I have a lot on my mind, and with the current situation, I don't know if you know this, but there are gamma rays that are hitting Earth right now, and it's been hitting us for like since I don't know, it's like for over a year or more. But gamma rays are supposed to cause cancer, but um, I don't think that that's the case. But I'm not scientific enough to explain it completely. But because of the gamma rays that are hitting Earth, that means that there's a lot of intense energies around us right now, because it's we're going through the time of ascension, and what that means is the ascension is as you probably heard from all the other spiritual speakers, leaders, not all the leaders, because I think some of the leaders don't even know about this. But yeah, I don't think the Dalai Lama knows about this. But basically, we are moving from third density to fifth density. Some say it's the fourth density. And from what I've learned and what I can gather is that, see, we have chakras in our bodies, and from our hips, it starts from the base chakra. So it starts from red, but it's like you have this rainbow in your body, which are the energy centers that represent positive and negative energy. So base is red, and red is for passion, survival, sex, stability, um, money, finances, and we have been apparently like uh, vibing from that. Like we've been, like our whole earth has been in that density of survival. Um, I'll get better at this, I think. I just, this is just a practice run, but, but I keep catching myself, looking at myself going, oh shit. But, so basically, sacral, no, it's base, sacral, solar plex, um, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and then you have another, I think they said another five because of the ascension, you know, it's growing or something like that. But anyways, that's the rainbow in our bodies, the energy centers called the chakras, and there's even like I've heard that the chakras are in your hands and in your feet and also in the front of you and the back of you. As you probably noticed that my language is like weird, but that's because I've been in Germany for over 2 years um, and I don't really have many friends to talk to because it's just weird. Like it's funny when you go to work and you know you have your everyday conversations about work and such, but when you work on your own, it's well, I've been concentrating, focusing on my art, and I learned from the past that as much as I love being at a studio, I get too distracted when I'm there. I love the personalities that you meet there, but I think for me, I just got caught up in too much dramas um, and it was too hard for me. So, but I am working on my own space. It's not my own space. It's shared space with Benny, and that's another story in itself. But but yeah, this is the ramblings and wisdom of Sebiga. Still kind of experimenting and trying to work out how I will be able to um, share my theosophical knowledge and also my art. And I also see I was going to give you the backstory, but I got distracted. So basically, okay. um, so when I was 7, I moved from South Korea to New Zealand, and the backstory from that was my mother left me when I was 1 year old, and she had her marriage breakdown, which meant that I lived with my father and my stepmom, and one day I'll get into more details about those stories, but basically, when I was 7, I moved to. So I caught the plane by myself when I was 7 years old um, with the assistance of the stewardess, to New Zealand, and we lived in New Zealand for 4 months. And from there, we moved to Ferntree Gully, which was in Victoria, in Australia. Lived there for till I was about in my 20s. But when I was 16, I left. I was advised from my counsellor to leave home, so I did, and then walked into a lot of chaos from then on. But so, but since then, when I moved from Melbourne to Sydney, and it's just been full-blown chaos from the word go, really, since I was born. But my point is, because I keep losing my points, is that um, I am fuck. So I lost my point again. But with all the chaos and with all the intense emotional energies that are dragged to the surface, as I've always tried to focus on positivity, because I believe that that's the best way to stay healthy. Um, and uh-oh. Um, and so that means for me, like singing, doing art, teaching, like sharing knowledge. I am like an advocate for creativity, all things that are amazingly arty. And I've been, even like when I've been called poor artist, or had like horrible fights with ex-partners about like just pursuing the life of an artist, or just living, doing what I'm passionate about. But it's been at a cost of a lot of